Howdy ho, Lions fans. Welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast, episode 552, the Turkey Day Spectacular. For those who are not going to clog enough arteries and cause heart problems with your gravy today, we've got something else to give you heart problems, and that's a Lions game. We're doing live. I'm your host, Chris. With me is my good friend and co-host, Ash, Mr. Tweets and Thompson. How you doing, brother?
Awesome. Happy Turkey Day, everybody.
It is now.
Cardiac cats, brother. Cardiac cats.
Got a lot to talk about. It's another win. Peaceful Tim, 11-1. Let's go. We're going to cover Coach Campbell's postgame presser. We'll probably have Jared Goff. We'll have a conversational roundtable and take your calls on this Turkey Day Spectacular. Also, just want to do this. We don't usually do a Thanksgiving game. It's family time. We know that, but just wanted to put something together to thank all the people that are working on this holiday, because you're sitting there and, like, for the terrified parent running into that store to grab some canned cranberry juice or to get some gas on the way to grandmother's house. You folks that are doing that for us, genuinely appreciate it. And then, of course, all the active duty folks out there serving who don't get the day off. We appreciate you too. Thank you all. So we figured, let's just do it. Let's put it together and make something happen. So we'll do all that. We got all that going on, a whole lot more. This is all dedicated to you guys. Got a great show lined up. Ash, you ready to go, my man?
Let's do the thing that we do.
I think we will, indeed.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
It was a gritty win. That's one way to put it.
Yep. That is one way to put it. The other way to put it would be, man, did they ever shit themselves in the second half.
Oh, man. I had so many bets that I was sure were going to hit. And
everything went real well right until that thing clicked over into the third quarter. And then, man, that just... Eventually, even Brad Holmes is going to run out of guys who are good that he can bring in, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Is there a guy in the stands, like, that they're going to pull in duty?
I'm pretty sure Khalil Dorsey was hurt at the end there, and he couldn't come out because there's literally nobody else to go in.
No.
Like, at that point, you're going like, okay, do we just play five safeties? What can we do here?
And like, there was a veteran that said, "Here, take my fucking leg, my artificial leg, and go fucking play, make it another sacrifice for the country." No, that was. Oh my God, man, that was just. I can't. It was like every other play, somebody was laying on the ground, and it was usually somebody in a blueberry uniform. That was just, man. This one was a tough one. This was a tough one to watch. 11-1 is the bottom line. It's just like those Jake Bates field goals that people talked about. They're as good as right down the middle. They're inside, and that's where we're at. It's 11-1, but boy.
Yeah, that's you're going to get a lot of ugly wins in a season with a lot of wins, and I'll take that over not getting the dub.
Ross Slaniff wearing the James Houston pants in the second half. They absolutely were.
Irony.
They absolutely were. Oh, man.
Lions cut the only player in team history to actually crap himself on the field, and then proceeded to do it as a 53-man roster the following week.
I think it's like a 44-man roster.
Solidarity with their fallen comrade.
It's like a 44-man roster now. Fuck.
Like 28 dude, yeah. Like there's so many guys went down here. Like, I think legitimately they were talking to the broadcast like we're down 9 starters.
Yeah.
But that's not from like first string week 1, But as you go down the attrition, like because Jack Campbell's still out there, Brian Branch is still out there, Kirby Joseph is still out there, Terry and Arnold is still out there. So, but if anything, that's worse because now there are just massive gaping holes on the field that are so unbelievably weak. Like, it is, still, AG's still working miracles out there, man.
Yeah.
It's just, if you don't have fish, you can't break loaves into food or whatever the thing is that, he did on the Sermon Mount or whatever.
4-day break, injured team. I mean, you got to give it to them.
Yep.
They still did it. They pulled it out. This was a tough one. This was a tough one. Lions and refs gave them every chance, but the Bears are going to bear. I think that's actually probably a pretty good take. The Lions gave them every chance. The refs gave them every chance, and the Bears are going to bear. There's a conversation we can have, and I don't know if it's probably never too early because you know how I am, about that in pass interference. We started talking a little bit about it before the game, and you're like, technically it is pass interference. Technically it is. I'm like, no, that's fair. I can see that, but
like
you didn't call anything like that the rest of the game.
Interference calls.
When you've got a guy who's got his arm around another man's neck who's behind him on the offensive line and they throw a touchdown, that's probably a hold. That's probably a hold. You got to call the egregious ones if you're going to call the ticky-tacky technically correctly. Just check the rule book to make sure it's a penalty kind of calls. And it's just consistency. That's all I want.
There's just some things where, like, when you're the only person that the ref is going to be look at, and when he looks at the moment the ball is thrown, you have your fingers wrapped around the bicep of the receiver, it's just going to get called. Like, did it actually affect whether that receiver was going to catch the ball? No, absolutely not. It just, the guy can only call what he's going to see. And when you're looking at it from his perspective, it looks like pass interference.
When you're standing behind the line and you see the offensive lineman behind the defender, but his arm is in front of his neck.
It's a hell of a lot easier to miss that call, man, because you're looking at 5 guys. As opposed to at that second, that guy is locked in on what is happening between
I'm going to say people. You always start by looking at the quarterback and out from there. And this was right directly line of sight. It's only one. Yeah, there were many.
I'm not even saying they didn't miss that call.
There was a hold in the end zone.
That in any way.
There was a hold in the end zone too at the end there. Not on the play. I think it was before they got out and got the first down. But it was like it's a safety. It's a fucking safety and just uncalled. So thank you, Aaron, for the super chat though. We do appreciate it.
They did the greatest job in the world. Yeah. Love you, super chatters.
Yeah. Perry Ball, we have too many injuries. The NFL bye weeks are too early. Ours was not too early this year. We actually friggin' needed it. But I think as we look at this and as they talk about an 18-game season, I can absolutely see the requirement for a second bye week. I think these guys need the time to rest, to heal. That's it. Good call here, Mr.
There was a time where they did it with 16.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why they ever went away from that. Other than I guess the guys apparently the PA wanted an extra week off at the end of the season. That's why it went away in the first place. But, you know, how many extra injuries do we have to see before we realize that maybe giving everybody 2 weeks off in the middle of the year is a good idea?
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, that lets you set up things like the trip to Europe and Thursday night games. You know, just gives you a lot more leeway on all of that stuff than they have right now to make it so that nobody ever has to play on a 4-day break. And I think in the next negotiation, that should absolutely be the thing that the PA is arguing for. Because in all these Thursday games, we just keep seeing guys drop like flies. Yeah. Because of course we do, right?
So our favorite samurai sword salesman, Hattori Hanzo, he says that Jamo impacted ice in the game earlier. Not a good look. Yeah. That was really. This is that thing. Jamo. You keep stepping in it, and you don't need to. That was a cell phone there. As an own goal. You didn't have to do that. Let's see.
No reason to.
Black Lion.
Exactly the same as Allen flipping the ball at the receiver at the end.
Yep.
You know, you're at the ref. Stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a stupid, unnecessary thing. Like, it's just unbelievably stupid. Like, I am getting very close to, you know, and of course this doesn't matter, but I'm super close to just being like, you know, man, I'm out on this guy. Like, I was so happy when we drafted him. There's so much potential there. But short of absolutely having the other team's head coach fumble this game into our laps at the end, that's could have cost this team the game.
That's going to be a fun part of the conversation.
You can't be doing that.
Cat in the background.
Yep.
So I got to hit a couple of these chats. Dude, that was way too close against a 4-7 team. I got to give them, I lol Bears all the time.
It's a 9-win roster.
But they should be at 7 wins already. I mean, they had so many close games that could have gone. I mean, they aren't. They're a 4-win team. That's what the record is, right? Just inside the goalposts or just outside for them. But yeah,
was 1 going into this game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's a rookie quarterback. That's going to cost you 2 games over the course of the year, and it is a garbage head coach, and that's going to cost you 2 more. Like I said at the beginning of the year, they had to get to 9 wins basically to keep Eberflus's job at the end of this season. Right now, that would involve winning every game for the rest of the year. So I'd be shocked if he made it to Tuesday.
Yeah. He may not make it on the plane home. They may give him a Greyhound ticket or an Amtrak ticket.
That would be a Bears-esque move to actually leave him in Detroit. Yep.
Here's your coupon for a ham and cheese sandwich on the train. Have a ride, Jack.
Yep.
That was hilarious ending. I mean, after all the stress, like if you
no high
pull
school
it away,
coach would do that.
No, if you pull everything else away,
none, 0.
The one thing to take away from this right now is to absolutely laugh at the folly that is Eberflus and their silly coaching. It's just fantastic.
Would I take him as a DC next year? 100% I would take him as a defensive coordinator next year. Okay. But that guy's not a head coach. You know, it's not there. You can't make that mistake once.
No.
Like not a single time ever. You know what I mean? Like
right.
You need to be screaming into somebody's ear at that point that they need to just spike the damn ball.
Yes.
You know, or call the timeout and then you do a play to the outside that's only going to run 7 seconds off and you still have enough time to get your guys out there. Like just literally anything other than what they did.
Yeah.
It's unforgivable. It's like taking the wind in overtime level of stupid get fired now. You know, like
Detroit needs to start Muhammad 69 every week going forward. Monster showing today. Yeah, I'd love to see more of that. Holy cow. Like just when you think that the barrel does, we found the bottom, we find yet another man stepping up. And he
made a couple plays last time he had to play too. Like, you know, he's a high variance guy. That's the thing with him right now, where he is, and also he does have the best jersey number in the history of numbers.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Yeah,
he knows what's up.
Obviously, he's our favorite guy right now.
Yep.
But
so this is it in a nutshell. Black Lion again. Jamo does too many things that could cost us a Super Bowl. I love him, but I want to punch him sometimes. That's exactly it. It's like, God, he's so great.
It's like you're annoying little cousin.
Thinking, oh my God, hold on, I got to slam some angle here.
Not quite a brother, you know, like I don't love him that much, you know, where it's like, no, retroactively because he's my brother, he's right. But, you know, you're just like, man, why do you got to do that? Like, what possible reason could there be that doing that is still okay for you at age 20? Is he 25 yet? 24?
I don't think so.
We're not dealing with a teenager anymore, and I would have got cussed out by my Mormon head coach in high school for doing something like that at 16.
Logan,
the man only swore 3 times that I ever saw, and I was an awful person to have to deal with at that age, and that would have triggered it absolutely. Like it just, man.
So Logan hits us. To be fair, when they showed the replay, Eberflus was screaming at Williams to snap the ball on the sideline, and this very much could be the case of Williams trying to get Eberflus fired. The best thing that could happen, I think, is if Eberflus stays and it continues to break Caleb. That's what I want. I want broken Caleb. Because the Bears destroying yet another career. I feel if he was almost any other team, I wouldn't feel this way. You know, hey, whatever. But no, sorry. I hope they destroy you and you go rebuild yourself somewhere else that's not in the division, Caleb. Sorry. I just hope you just can choke it. Choke on a sausage, or today you can choke on a turkey leg. Oh, man. Let's see. Aaron, that early bye is going to hurt us. Hopefully we lock up number 1 early so we can sit starters before playoffs. I know Riz hates it, but I am all about resting people on the first week of the playoffs if we can. That's just my head. Jamo needs to sit at the kids' table for Turkey Day. A lot of happy Thanksgivings out there. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, Psycho Billy and everybody out there. Happy day. Yeah. And Chris is thinking strategically. Eberflus lifetime contract in Chicago. I would love to see that. Oh man. All right. So let me flounder. Here we go. This is for you, Ash. Thank you, Flounder, for the super chat. Ash, you are still really unpleasant to deal with love.
As I was canceling a contract down here in Florida, like, I knew you weren't from here. You're too nice. And I was like, yeah, I am.
Oh man, a traveling man. The Bears SOL that game SOB. Yeah, they're the SOBs for sure. I like that one. Okay, Ash. Let me get a thank you, traveling man, for the super chat, and again, Flounder as well. Thank you for the super chat. Love you folks, and a happy Thanksgiving Day. Ash, why don't you give us a rundown?
Really thankful today.
To go with the meme, I just saw it roll by in the Slack. I don't want to die, but still kind of do, with the lion jumping over the rainbow.
This one really
what's your
felt like this since the Hutch game.
Yeah, what's your assessment today? Give me your overall, like how many, this is one of those I don't know what to do with my hands kind of game. So if you can put it into like one thing instead of segments, is there like an overarching feeling, or if you have to segment for us too, that's okay.
This game, honestly, kind of just it's like really bad acid reflux. You ate something delicious, and then things after that went terribly, terribly wrong. That's usually first half. So happy in the first half, dude. Everything was going great. Like, went into halftime 16-0 with no indication that anything was going to go badly, and then just 13-0 them in the fourth quarter, brother. Like, it just offense, defense, everything disappeared. Like, I will grant Eberflus that he did it very good in terms of the second half adjustments on both sides of the ball. Now, of course, it's pretty easy to adjust when there's literally no person who can actually cover anybody in our secondary left at that one corner spot. Like, to the point where it literally might as well have been me out there, and that's not me saying I can play corner,
Oh, I think you'd be great. Back in high school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, dude.
All right.
I had the nickname Flash Thompson intended very ironically by a defensive coordinator.
Flash Thompson. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I was like, kudos for the Spider-Man reference, but also go fuck your face. You're a teacher. What are you doing right now?
Flash Thompson. Oh my God. Okay. So Logan, I know you don't usually show DC's presser on the post gaming, but how do we feel about including Eberflus this time too? I am going to I've got it up. I'm going to try to make sure we get Eberflus and see if we can just.
Oh my.
Why not? Yep. Just to see.
It's actually not a bad idea. Like, if there's nothing else happening at that point, it's just me yammering. I'd rather see the coach.
Yeah. We can make it work. We have what is it? We have the technology with the $6 million man, whatever it is.
They don't all go at the same time.
But even if they do,
yep.
I am the human DVR man.
Fair enough, man.
Oh, let's see. Caleb really doesn't like his head coach, or the coach doesn't want to be there anymore. Notice how the CBS said the Lions hadn't put the Bears away. The NFL script didn't want to blow out. It felt like that. It felt like that. It really did. You guys always bring me back up. My neighbor lives another week. It's a win, man. It's no different than a kick that's just inside that goalpost. It's it's good enough for us. So we'll be watching here. We've got the eyes on the prize and seeing when these things show up. Playing with our third stringers on defense. Of course, it went bad in the second half. Brandon Ward, I need my FTP kids chant. Go kids, go. Another sign that education is improving across the nation. Kids learning in class what the real sense is going to be. Flounder, you're just jealous. You're pleasant on the eyes, Ash. Aaron Pfeiffer says you are pleasant on the eyes, Ash.
That's Aaron Pfeiffer.
Yeah, you got the potato. He's got the potato icon too. The flare. So those in the Slack. So if you know, you know.
I see you, man of culture, Aaron Pfeiffer.
If you're in the Slack, you know. All right. Is this the Lions channel or backdoor? Well,
what do you want to be done in Detroit? Yeah. Hello.
Real sense. Chris, you tell it on yourself. Oh, man, there's so much to tell. All right, let's see. Yeah, the Colin Vildor on the fourth down was weak. It should have been game over right there. Yes. Me and Ash, let me be appropriate and proper. Ash and I spoke about this earlier. It gives you leeway to go the other side too. And then they really don't know who the hell you are because you're all over the board.
All about balance.
Yeah, we did talk about that a little bit, and frustrating. I have to say, Ash technically is correct by saying technically it is a pass interference, and I am 100% right and not wrong in any way, shape, or form by saying if they would have called it consistently, well, as they called the rest of the game, that shouldn't have been called.
And I was also correct in saying that it's two different guys making those calls.
Technically correct. You're only technically correct. I'm right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, man.
Oh, Tim Rhodes being a jerk. Enjoy your timeout, bro.
Oh, no, he has a bad stream. It's split. He can't get a straight stream on that thing. He's all over the place. The whole fucking bathroom's wet. Jamo's getting unsportsmanlike penalty was going to be the turning point for the game. It could have. I mean, if you think about if this game had gone bad, that's where a lot of fingers would have been pointing right there. And I'm sorry, I got a pulled lat that's just killing me. That's why I took the Advil earlier, guys. I've just got my arm up here, just shoving my thumb in there to relieve some pain and pressure. God, Jamo, I love the swag and the scruffiness and the, you know what I mean? But you just can't do that.
Yep. Yeah, you got to stop at the point where you have to stop. And it's a very obvious point. Like it's not difficult to avoid that penalty or last week's penalty or bluntly every other thing that he has done that has ended up going badly other than injuring himself prior to the draft. That's the last time that anything bad that happened to him didn't happen or wasn't self-inflicted, man. You know?
Yeah. It was.
I heard voices. Are we ready to roll? With
No. There was no voices. Your schizophrenia is kicking up again. All of you, everyone listening. Never has a win felt so much like a loss. It's just hard to digest after the first half. I mean, we were rolling.
Yep.
In every way except the score. That score should have been going like a gas pump. But it was going like a 1950s gas pump. You know what I mean? It was so slowly increasing. Man.
I remember when $10 filled my gas tank, dude. That was such beautiful times. Like I paid $120,000 for my first house.
Yeah.
Good luck now.
Bates missed that kick. Yeah, he did. He's got to make that kick. Yeah, he does. But you miss him every now and then. Yeah, you miss him every now and then.
Convert one of those into it. Yeah, it's the only one he's missed this year. We're not gonna dump on a guy for making more than 90% of his field goals. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Worst rest we've had in 2.5 years. Bad calls and missed calls on both teams. Yeah, for sure. That's fair. There was some stuff the Lions got away with that they shouldn't have as well. But I don't. Again, I look at that and I'll say, okay, got away with it. Then you're going to be consistent. And then when you're not, How many starters are injured?
Yep.
I don't know right now, but I have to say at least a full side of guys is missing. I mean, from when you add up the total from both sides, is what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's tough. It's really, really tough. So yeah, now we got this Phil Gutson. Okay, I'm gonna get this right. Gutstavers. I think that's it. Phil Gutstavers. Although I would have loved Bates being 100% on field goals this year, I'm glad the pressure of perfection is off while still getting a W. And that's a fair point, because kickers can be in their own heads a little bit. And depending how they run, you know what I mean? The one miss could cause things to go pretty far afield for them, or it can take off a lot of pressure of, oh, I've got to get it. And then, all of a sudden they don't, and it becomes ugly. I don't know. I feel like missed one, fine. If you miss another one, it's not going to break you. You can go in and not feel like you have to be perfect all the way through the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm just thinking it through, but the more I think of it, I'm arguing against myself in my head. Just be perfect. There's no pressure. If you're wrong, if you miss one, you miss one. Keep going, right?
Yep, exactly. At this point, it was neat. It was a good story. If he had gone like a whole season without missing any, it would have been literally a Disney movie. But
yeah,
now we can just move on. You know what I mean? We've got a pretty darn good kicker.
I like a good Disney movie.
That's really all you can ask for from him.
Yeah. Okay, I think we got a Campbell in the corner here. Let me find the right mouse, get the action going here to get him in.
Hey, good win. I mean, you find a way to get the W, and that's ultimately what we did, and we found a way. Credit to that team. That they played hard. We knew they would, and hard fought game, and. I just thought there was a number of things. I thought we started off pretty hot offensively, and defensively, man, getting the 3 and outs, really getting them off the field and really chewing up all the first half. But the turnover going in, the penalties that we had in the red zone, hurt us. A little bit of the details of the passing game hurt us in some things. Thought we ran it pretty good. But ultimately, that one right before halftime, they go for it on 4th down. We stop them. Now we have the ball, and we give it back to them. It didn't cost us anything, and that hurts. So that gives you a little momentum, and they come out, they score after halftime. But what I loved is our offense went down and scored. We answered back. So even when things aren't working perfect, man, we play complimentary football, We go 3 and out, man. Jack Fox, what a massive punt, puts him down there on the 1 yard line. That's a huge play. And then ultimately, our defense at the end of that game holds.
Ultimately,
so I'm proud of the way they fought. We did what we had to do, and man, we're going to move forward. We're going to enjoy this first Thanksgiving win since I've been here, and our guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it. We got a couple of days off before we're back, getting ready for Green Bay, or players do, and then we're on to the next one. So proud of the guys.
You were dealing with a bunch of injuries there later, kind of cutting through it. Darius was one of them. Just how big was that play and kind of set up the confusion for them there on that sack on 2nd down, and just his play really all day. Got a couple sacks, and it really was a factor.
Yeah, I mean, look, our guys up front, I thought played their tails off. I mean, Zadarius did some really good things. I thought DJ Reader, man, I thought he was outstanding. Mac, I thought Pascal before he had the injury. I thought Al Muhammad played big for us, man. It was good to get him back in the lineup. He's a relentless player. Gives you all he's got. So great job with the defensive staff. Getting the next guy up, because we got hit pretty good. We lost a number of guys, and so. Those guys stepped up and helped us, and the sack right before the last play of the game was huge.
And can you share your just emotions in that final minute as things were kind of unfolding? It was kind of a while,
Yeah.
Sack, the last play, they went to the locker room, timeout. Just sure that surprised you with the team. Just kind of everything that you heard, I guess.
Yeah. Well, look, I think I really felt like the takeaway was. I really felt like we were going to get a takeaway, like it was coming. I really did, and and that one didn't. But obviously we won the way we did. So no, I didn't expect that, but I'll take it. I did feel like we were going to make a stand. I didn't see it, happening that way. But that's,
Nobody did.
You get in those type of games, and
Nice way to
you
put
get
that.
in those situations, and you're trying to play off of and do the best you can, because I'm also in my head thinking before that, do we need to use a timeout, give yourself a chance to answer back if they tie it, but yet, man, you don't, and now you allow them more time to score a touchdown and win the game. You're going through all these scenarios. So, I was just proud of the way the defense held. I felt good about us doing it, holding. I just didn't know how it was going to play out.
And you guys have won so many games by multiple points, multiple touchdowns. Did it feel encouraging to escape to a certain degree this game that was so tight, and you seem to be hanging on for dear life?
Yeah, I mean, look, I told the team, that's what I said. If you're not careful, you start grading your own wins, and it's good because you have these standards, the way you think you should play, by your own standards, by what you have. It has nothing to do with the opponent. It's just yourselves, and you know what you're capable of, and so. If you're not careful, you start going too far down that thing, then you start taking wins for granted. And ultimately, man, that's a good win against an opponent that is fought every week. And this was the third game in a row, division game, that those guys have brought it over there. And so we did what we had to do to win. And we'll clean up the other stuff that cost us some points. I'm not worried about that, but I will take this W. And I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah, when you say clean up the other stuff, you include the taunting in that sort of self.
Yeah, and look, that I'll be honest with you, that's already cleaned up. It's already cleaned up. So we're good. And as a matter of fact, Jamo got right in front of the team a minute ago, unsolicited, and wanted to apologize to his teammates. That's big, man. It's growth. And it's all good.
Curious about the cornerback moves. Mosley late inactive here, and also Arnold not starting. Just curious what went into some of those decisions.
So yeah, Mosley had really pregame had something kind of pop up, and we just didn't feel good about him being able to go, having enough to really go full speed, and that's really what that came down to. And so obviously we got out of this game with him getting any worse, so that's a positive. Who else did you ask about? I'm sorry.
Arnold didn't start it, but came in on the second drive.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure he was good. The last we saw him was
like he's drinking a beer while he's up there.
Before Indianapolis, and then he couldn't make that game, and so we just we felt good about bringing him the game. We just kind of wanted to work our way in. We felt good about Vildor and Dorse, and once we got in there and saw him after the next possession, then he was good, and we let him go.
With 2 touchdowns today, how good was it to get him back involved in the red zone?
Who's that? Yeah, it was good. I mentioned that. I feel like this is the healthiest he's been in a while during the season, and he's in good shape. And he really brings. Sometimes I don't want to say you take it for granted, but you forget. You forget all that he does for us, and man, he really helps us in the run game, as well as what you see in the pass game. He's a good player, and honestly, he makes the offense better, and he and Brock run right together. It allows us to put Brock where he belongs, which makes him a better player, which in turn makes us a better offense, and so on.
Yeah, you said you're a little grumpy after the last 3 Thanksgivings. How would you describe your moves today?
Listen, much better. Much better. I will take a W. Look, that's division win number 3, which is huge. Division win, especially in the race we're in right now, and then that's win 11, and it's another conference win. So listen, I feel good, and I'm going to take that W, and I'm going to enjoy this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you and all your families and everybody out there. I'm going to enjoy this.
Two things, and just on the defensive line, do you ever feel snake bit with all these injuries? It just seems like one position that keep coming.
You ever feel snake bit?
Well, let me ask you this. Does it really matter? Like, who cares? You know, and that's the thing. That's what I go back to, man. Hey, well, it doesn't matter. Like, either it is or it isn't, and we get a guy back, or we don't get a guy back, and it like worrying about it and moaning about it and bitching about it. It's like calls, right? It's like the call. It's like Vildor. I could sit there and throw a fit about it. What does it matter? You know, it's called, it's done. So I know this. Whoever we have available, we're going to get them ready to play, and we expect them to hold the line. Period. You got to do your job, and everybody around you is looking for you to do your job. So we'll give you the best opportunity to have success, or put you in the best position to have success, and and we'll go. And if we got to do something different, if we got defensive injuries, that makes us do something different offensively, and special teams will do that. If it's offensive, we'll play a little different on defense or special teams, and we'll find a way to balance the levies.
Do either of those guys seem serious? Josh or
I feel like it'll be okay. It could be a little bit. You know, they could be down for a bit. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think Rodrigo's the one that could be the worst. And I don't know how significant it'll be just yet, but he's the one I fear a little bit could be down.
He brought up, he caught a lot of slings, obviously, for the play in the championship game last year, last week. Just any thoughts on that penalty? It seemed questionable to some people. How do you believe?
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't have a problem with the coverage. That's probably the best way to say it. You know, I thought those guys were competing for the ball, and I liked his coverage there. And look, I love the way, it's why Vildor's here, man. We love the way he competes. Like, you don't worry about him. It's too big for him, or he's not going to go out there, and he's not going to fight the guy. He's not like, you know, we know exactly what he is, and we love it. We love who he is and the way he plays.
1/10 of a second.
Yep.
All right, there we go. All right.
It's literally the difference of a hand being like this versus a hand being like this. And then it doesn't get called. That's it. That's literally it on that play.
I'm going to just kind of pop over to, let me just make sure this.
Is the flus loose?
Okay, we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and just pop over to the, really quick, the Bears, because you got to see it. It's just, there's no audio. There's nothing. Just a picture of a bear live. Nobody's on stage. There's nothing going on over there. Woo!
Again, for the 100,000th time, thank you to the Detroit Lions for actually putting like the minimum level of effort into making everybody trying to watch these things have a good experience. Like, for a couple of years, you couldn't hear any of the questions. Yeah. So it took you like 30 seconds of coach talking before you actually had any idea what the hell he was talking about. They fixed it. You know what I mean? And sometimes it makes the audio go all wonky, where when he first starts talking, it's like he's screaming at you from 3 inches from your ears. But that's better than not knowing what he's talking about. And when it goes up on YouTube, like if you watch it after the actual press conference, they fix it. So that's really all you can ask. Other teams don't do that stuff. And I think as Lions fans, sometimes we get a little bit spoiled and don't really realize how good we have it as far as the team's relations with the fans and media goes.
Yeah. I'm watching both. I know we're likely going to get Jared. So we should have him, and I'll keep my eyes on this to see if we get the flus, but he might have the flu and we may have no post-game presser from those Bears. This is something that would, nope, we've got him. The flus is loose. Sweet. Give me 1 second.
It's going to be awful for him.
It's going to be crazy bad. Let me get a little bit of work here. Get that ready. And then I have to just do one more thing. Sorry. He's almost there. Audio set. Okay. As soon as we get the flus loose, he should be on any minute now. And we'll have the Matt Eberflus post-game presser. He's just waiting here for him to show up. Come on, Flusy. You bunch of
very disappointing.
Here we go.
But also, I thought the guys battled really hard. 16-0. We didn't come out the way we wanted to in the first half on offense, on defense. But I thought our guys battled. Holding those guys to field goals really helped us to stay in the game, and we did a good job of resetting ourselves at halftime. Offense did a heck of a job in the second half. In terms of efficiency and scoring points and getting us in position. Defense did what it had to do to put us in position to win the game as well. And then it came down to that last drive. The last drive right there. We were there at the end. They had penalty. We had penalty. So we had a bunch of penalties there. Hands to the face. We had they called a pick route on us. But we also had a DPI that put us in position. And it's knocking us out of field goal range, those penalties.
Really
we're there at second and 20.
Like the second was like an intent to
injure right there
on Arnold. It was that bad.
Yeah, so he literally put the arms up and
and our hope was because it was third going into fourth that we would re-rack that play at 18 seconds, throw it in bounce, get it into the field goal range, and then call the timeout. And that's where it was, and that was our decision-making process on that. Again, we were outside the field goal range, so we needed to get a few more yards in there, as close as we can get. And then we're going to call timeout, and that's why we held that last timeout at the end of the game.
This is what a last press conference looks like for Lions fans. We're not going to see one for a long time.
Disappointing for the players. They put a lot of work in a short week and put themselves in position to win that game. So with that, I'll take questions.
Trying to justify it, man. That's the death knell.
Yeah, so right there,
that's when you're
like the
I
play
can't just say we screwed up.
And we were hoping that he was going to call it or get the ball snapped, and then we would have called timeout right there. But once it's under 7
just
there,
threw the quarterback under the bus.
You call timeout there, then you're basically throwing the ball to the end zone. Because once it's under 12, you can't throw it inside with no timeout. And it was third going into fourth. So that's a big deal. So it was third going into fourth. That's why we wanted to preserve the timeout.
So how, in retrospect, how should you have handled the final sequence?
Yeah, I like what we did there. Again, once it's under 7, you're gonna call timeout there, or actually under 12, and then really you don't have an option. Because it's third to fourth, you got to throw it into the end zone then. So to me, it's I think we handled it the right way. I do believe that you just re-rack the play, get it in bounce, and call timeout, and that's why we held it, and didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
There were 32 seconds left when Caleb got sacked. How do you come away with only one desperation shot in the end zone and didn't really see the catch?
Yeah, just like I explained. We wanted to re-rack that. Like I said, get a play in bounce and then call timeout, and that's where it was. It was third into fourth going there. So.
What was the play? Because it ends up being a deep shot.
Late Patricia vibes.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about specific plays, but it was a play that was going inside, and then because we had the timeout, and we would have been in field goal range then. It would have been all set.
What went wrong on the sack where Larry kind of got caught out there with 2 rushes?
Yeah, I have to look at the exact play. I got to look at the play right there. Again, I got to get to the bottom of that. I didn't see it. I saw the guy come free, and I know what the play was, but yeah, I got to look at it.
Why wasn't the ball snapped at 18 seconds?
We just got to get it. We just got to do a better job together. Just got to do a better job together to re-rack that play, get it off, and then call timeout.
He's trying. Not to say because my rookie quarterback doesn't know how to play football.
Is there like a time ticking that
they're not going to get his mouth?
Yeah, you could take it down to you're taking it down there, right? So 18, and then down there, right there, and then once it gets under 12, then you got to hold on to it then.
So is this on the players for not getting it snapped?
No, it's a situation where you got to get you get the play in, right? You snap the ball.
I'm just saying.
Get it off, and then we'll call timeout. That was the whole operation. We were all on the same page there. We just got to do it a little bit better.
Matt, why did you guys have to blow a timeout prior to that? 43 seconds left, 2nd and 10. It was not to stop the clock.
Yeah. So that one there, I was on the on the offensive line in terms of the headset. And that one there, I was like, do you guys need it? Because I'll ask them that, because there's a lot of times, because if there's an emotion going there and we know it's going to be a delay, we did not want to take a delay that would kick us out of the kick line there or move it back any farther. So I took it there.
Why is it getting to that point
Flounder,
where
thank you.
a timeout is necessary to
Waiting for him to tell the reporter to sit up straight in his chair.
Why are things not better organized than moving better?
Yeah, it was the play got in. There was emotion to it. Obviously the crowd noise, all those things, and when it gets to 5 there, then I ask him, hey, if you need it, let me know. Because there was motion there, and so we did need it, and I called it.
Matt, how much of the blame do you take for this loss?
That's bad play calling by the OC,
I'm the
man.
head football coach, so I'm taking the blame.
Wow.
Of course, that's what you do.
Number 2 thrown under
so
the
we
bus.
didn't get it done.
I'm
It starts
taking
at the
blame.
top, and it starts right here. So accountability is right here with me, and again, we just got to do it better, and I got to do it better. And I was proud of the guys the way they fought, and they did a good job putting themselves in position.
I think you were told you had to do it somewhere else.
Of you not have preparing your players for this critical moment, or was it the way you just handled the moment as a coach?
Yeah, I just think that we're there in the moment. We just got to handle it better. We got to handle it better.
He knows.
And we're right there.
Like he knows what this is.
Again, there were some penalties there at the end. We were in position to score. We had a hands to the face. I think that was a pretty costly one. And then we just got to do a better job not taking negative plays, but it's got to be. I think it starts right here. It starts with me.
Down 16-0, you get the touchdown. What was the thought process in kicking an extra point instead of going for 2?
These are way
just
better
to make
questions
everyone score, right? We
than
didn't
Patricia
get that done,
got.
but then it was
Just
still
telling
10,
you.
I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
At that point,
that is true.
But it was in the fourth quarter.
Nobody's
so
throwing
it was,
softballs here.
in our chart, that was go for 2.
Throughout the losing streak, you've been saying I need to do a better
It's not
job,
like
I need
it's
to do
an.
a better job.
It's not.
concerned about your
It's
job
not
security?
contrived. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is the
We're emotional.
The NFL.
It's
I
like,
know
give
where
me
it
the
is,
facts,
and
and
I'm
I'll
just going to put
yeah.
my best foot
It's
forward.
like on this
and,
play,
why
why did
I'm
this
gonna,
happen?
get to work and keep
I was
grinding. So
actually
that's what we
watching
do.
the game that I'm talking about as a reporter.
Like I said, I'm just going to keep grinding and working, and that's what I do.
Matt, a couple players said that you didn't have like the normal post-game meeting in the locker room where you address the team. Is that true? And what would have been the motivation?
No, we typically bring it up for prayer, right? We brought it up for prayer, and that's what we did, and we broke it down like we normally do. So it was same operation.
Was there a message that you delivered to them post-game?
Yeah, I said I know it's hard, I know it's difficult. We still have a lot to be thankful for, and that was it. And then we just broke it down.
There's a couple players in there who are shaken in their confidence in you. How do you address them?
That
I
feels
would
like
just
he's
say
been
that
told.
we got to pull together. We just got to keep pulling together, keep believing in each other. I know these games are tight. Losing by 1, losing by 3 a couple times. Losing by 5, losing by 6. I get that, right? But we're right there. We're right there, and we just got to keep plugging along, and it's going to crack. It's one more crack of the hammer, and it's going to crack.
Yeah.
And
One more.
the guys keep
now shoveling.
fighting, and we're right there.
Just gotta keep digging.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Wow, man.
That press conference leads me to believe he has already been told that he's fired.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Like just the fact that they didn't even do the meeting at the end of the game, or he was told before the game that if this goes stupid, you're gonna be. You know what I mean? I remember once I was working as a retail manager in a store, and I had a meeting planned with my guys where I was going to buy them all pizza, basically. We were going to go for a pizza thing, and that was going to be our meeting. And then I decided I didn't want to work there anymore. And despite the fact that I still worked there when that meeting was supposed to happen, nobody got free pizza. At that point, I was like, nah, my effort level just went to what am I contractually required to do?
All right,
that's the press conference we just got. He was supposed to start the play with 18 seconds left and just didn't for reasons. I don't know.
We got Jared Goff on the podium. Let me get him. And in the meantime, hand out the pizza to the folks in the chat. All right, we'll get Jared on right now.
It was a crazy ending, right? Thought we won. Thought we were going to go to overtime. Thought we were going to have a chance to have our final drive. Thought we won again. It all kind of kept happening. Ultimately, our defense, bend don't break, and made those plays at the end. Those sacks were huge. Some of the stuff on the back end was huge, covering, and they made it happen. But yeah, it was a good win, and don't care how it happens. Don't care against who. Division game on Thanksgiving. We'll take any way we can.
I really like doing the opposing coach's press conference.
Yeah.
It's
the best. I was just talking about
repertoire.
You have in your NFL career, you have these bucket list items, and holding the Lombardi is obviously number one. But the whole eating the turkey after the Thanksgiving win, is up there too, and that's something that I'll never forget. And so it was actually pretty good, and the stuffing was good, and we were having a good time, and it's awesome. It's a memory I'll have forever.
I think I heard David went for carrots, not the turkey leg.
David was eating carrots. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He maybe wasn't hungry.
That's good red zone defense.
It is.
They've got over there.
Yep.
But how frustrating was it? Maybe some self-inflicted things a little bit.
Yeah, it was more that, obviously the turnover hurts, and some of the penalties hurt, and then we just had some crap plays down there that we didn't execute very well, and it just wasn't our best performance in the red zone, and we got to be better. We'll learn from it. It's good to learn from that stuff and get better, but that is a good unit in the red zone over there, but we had certainly had our opportunities to make plays that we didn't make.
How good of a red zone weapon is Sam?
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Couple good ones to him, and got himself open on both of those and put it right on him, but he's a good player, and he's finally getting back to himself at this point, and it feels good.
What's your thinking when the game starts like that? You guys are dominating. I think it's 17-0.
16-0, yep.
And you don't think that they're going to come back, but it is the NFL.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think like the red zone stuff, like we had a chance to make it 28-0 or whatever it would have been if we would have scored all the touchdowns, and even at the end on that drive at the end of the half, make it 23-0 or even 19-0 if we get a field goal. But you just know that you kind of left the door open a little bit, and all right, like this is going to be a game now, and we've kind of put ourselves in this position, unfortunately, and have to kind of fight for it now and continue to finish this game. And I thought they fought back well. That team is a good team. They're talented, and they did a good job fighting, and we were able to close the door at the end.
You're a better guy, captain. How much do you respect Jamo standing up in front of the line?
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, he's right where he needs to be. He's doing a good job. I know that was a mistake by him, but I'm proud of him, the way he handled it and the way that he stood up and took responsibility, and we'll move on. There's no problems there.
You did a great job distributing the ball today. You even had it in around the 10
yeah.
Like he's possibly going to throw it for a second.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how much trust you have in an offensive line.
Yeah, that was a fun one that we've been working on for a while, and it just hadn't come up for whatever reason, and he got it and didn't quite have the look to throw it, so it didn't work out. But he made 2 or 3 guys miss on the tackle, and I was kind of giggling the whole time watching it.
You've been in that position at the end of the game, like Caleb Williams was. Obviously, up in the stands or the press box, it looks like much easier to manage. But just your take on how that game ended. 30 seconds for the sack and the timeout.
Yeah, it ended in our favor. It's hard, man. The end of the game stuff, it's hard. It's real-time decisions both sides are making, and it's a lot of reps, and it's a lot of time spent on those situational stuff, and we came out on top today. I thought Caleb played really well, and I'm sure we'll have our battles for a long time, but he's a good player and did a good job.
Okay, more guys will play really quick. Just the discipline it takes to not throw that ball.
Yeah, well, it wasn't, You kind of would like him to throw it away. That's what we were joking with him about. But he's like, no, I'm only going to get this chance once. I'm going to try to break some tackles. So be it. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. No harm, no foul.
On the other side of the ball, I know just the C-line and linebacker just let you block and had a couple guys out. From your perspective on sideline, after seeing guys go down and guys like Darius kind of have to take out, or Muhammad really step up in this position, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's fun to see that. Obviously, Zadarius, is a new addition to our team, but Muhammad's been doing a good job since he got here. On defense, on scout team, making it hard on us, and then obviously in the games now he's doing a great job, and it's fun to see guys step up. It's never fun to see guys get hurt or get injured or have to leave the game, but when guys are able to step up and make those plays and make a name for themselves on national television, it's fun.
What is added to the locker room just as a veteran guys play a lot of games?
Yeah, he's added a lot. Energy. Energy and understanding of where we're at in our season and what we're looking for, and he brings that energy every day. He's obviously such a great player on the field physically, but I think emotionally and his juice daily brings something to that defense. It's fun.
In the locker room after the game, how much did it mean to end the Thanksgiving streak?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a bucket list for me was to win on Thanksgiving, and now we can start our new streak of winning. But yeah, it was big, and certainly that game came down to the wire there, and was, you're worried about which way it's going to go, but to get the W in the way we did and to end that skid that we've been on and kind of put that to rest, it's another kind of check off our list that we've been working on for the last handful of years, and it feels good.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there we go. the camera was crooked, it felt like, in all those press conferences. It was like in the old 60s Batman evil villain's lair kind of feel to it. They should, and the more wins we get, the camera should just tilt a little bit more every time until someone's wearing Riddler freaking outfit. Oh man. Well, okay. So, what are you taking away here, Ash, from the series of press conferences we saw besides Eberflus getting fired? And I think from now on we will be doing the opposing team's press conference because that's fantastic to have.
Yeah, it's particularly when we win. That's nice to watch.
Yeah.
Watch the other team's misery in real time. I think
remember,
we need to make that our thing that we do now.
That's the only thing. When we do shows, we win, right? So we would always be doing it.
Like, at what hour did we determine that we were both going to be available for this to happen? Was it like 15 or 20 minutes before kickoff today?
I think 15 might be being generous, actually, but
yeah. Yeah, the Slack was like, man, it's too bad there's no post game. And I was like, actually? We're doing, guys. Hop on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but as far as this stuff goes, like, Goff just said exactly what you'd expect him to say, like that they didn't really throw any difficult what did they do in the second half questions at him. Sorry. Yeah, they yeah, just so bored yeah.
Another win.
That was pretty milquetoast press conference, I guess, is kind of how that came across. Like nobody asked anything particularly difficult, and he kind of just gave you the canned answers.
Yeah.
And Campbell's just Campbell. Like, love that guy. He just said exactly what was true.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like they were harping on him about okay, Jameson Williams apologized, which it's better that he did than if he didn't. But what would be even better is if he just didn't try to F the team.
Hey, when you can congratulate everyone on a win.
Maybe let's try not doing the thing.
When you can congratulate on everyone on a win without having to say sorry for what I did, it's a much better look. All right. We'll take calls 248-782-8384. I recognize it's Thanksgiving and folks may not be able to call as frequently as they do on the regular show. So we're just going to talk a little bit and we'll take calls and see what's going on. But we've got one already to kick things off. And I believe this is our favorite Lions fan in Latvia.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Hey, I'm going to set you up here. Tee up your MCDC sound bites.
Got you.
These nuts.
Lions, not that one. Lions losing on Thanksgiving. You've had
enough of that shit.
Money.
I got you. Yeah, test me.
Hey, I just wanted to
yeah, what do you got, man?
Comment on the O-line downfield giving the running back a push.
Yes.
To get the first down or to get extra 4 or 5 yards. I think I saw it like 4 or 5 times this time. And it's there every game, and the national media is not talking about it. And the other thing about that whole thing is they're going to the ball. So if something bad happens, they're there to potentially recover. If we get if the opposing team gets lucky and puts a hat on the helmet or do something, that's coaching, and I think that's awesome. Your thoughts?
I was just talking about this with my wife and son as we were watching the game today. I think this is like Galaxy Brain coaching staff stuff that's coming together after last year with the Eagles with the tush push, and recognizing that we're not worried about the rugby play anymore of pushing players forward, that they said, you know what? We've got our 2 running backs that we love so much, and we know that they're already pushing piles forward on their own. Let's get in there. Let's make that part of what we teach and what we train. And I've seen it this year, like in spades, where they just get in there, and you'll see Amon-Ra in there just coming in and just putting his shoulder in and pushing. And I think it's a modified version of the tush push that we're using to help grind out extra yards in the running game.
I just think it's like I agree. I think it's next level coaching, and I think that's coached. I don't think the players do that on their own, but I just think that's awesome. And I was thinking exactly of the tush push when I was coming up with this, but that's great.
You think about it. I mean, we got it right here from Harris Villain. You don't even need the tush push stuff when Sewell can just snatch Montgomery off the pile and carry him 5 yards downfield. Like, he could carry Montgomery like a football. I mean, he's kind of got the shape, you know what I mean? He's got the whole thing. Russ, I think we got a new shirt, brother. Sewell carrying Monty. Oh man. Well, hey.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
What do you think our chances are of clinching a playoff berth? I know we're not going to clinch the North this week, but what about a playoff berth this weekend? I know there's a lot of things that got to go our way, but we got the most important one out of the way. We won.
Yeah.
The dub.
Yeah. There's stuff with Atlanta and all kinds of. It was like a major calculus equation, and math wasn't my forte. So I think
the easiest way was just Cardinals and Rams lose. We're in. That's the easy one. There's like 17 much more complicated than that scenarios. But if you're looking for just like an easy thing to root for on Sunday, I think that is the two things that we need to happen.
Cardinals and Rams lose. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I believe so.
There's a chance. I mean, there is definitely a chance we get it this week. And hey, clinching the playoffs would be great. And I think that's another kind of one of those post games. You get the victory next week. You're like, okay, we're in the playoffs. That's one. That's one seed. We've got 8 of them to climb, right? And I think that would be great. I think that would be great. I will say again, I diverge from Risden's thinking on whether you want that first week bye. I think, especially with your bye week so early in the season this year, you absolutely want that first week of the playoff as a bye week, and just rest your way into the rest of the playoffs. Just because, man, these guys have been on a grind for a long time.
Yeah, every game you don't have to play against a playoff team with Aiden Hutchinson not playing is a good week in my opinion. As much as I'd love to watch as many Lions games as possible. Having the more time off everybody gets at the end, I think the better this team is going to be doing, because they're not going to come out flat. The other thing to
consider is that our bye week might be the final week of the season, because maybe we're not playing for anything on that week. So maybe the 1 seed doesn't matter so much because we're resting everybody who means anything on the final week of the season. And if we happen to play on the second, get the second seed, who knows? You never know what's going to happen, but you don't know when your bye week is going to be. And all I'm saying is it could be the last week of the season.
Yeah. I'm not sure Campbell's going to sit people when we play.
I don't think he will either, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You never know what this coaching staff is going to do.
No. Say it again, Ash.
Like if we're going into that week 15-1, so that game does not matter, then I could see them maybe sitting some guys, and not that many guys. You know what I mean? It would just be like Decker maybe gets the week.
Yeah, guys that are nursing a little something.
2-3 other guys. Yeah, because you can't sit everybody is the problem. So at what point are you just kneeling down on the entire game by not playing people? Like, are you not going to play Jared Goff in that week so that Hendon Hooker goes out there with also no receivers and no offensive line,
And
that's the thing.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I just want to, we've got 5 games left. 3 of those games are division games, which are always tough. We know that. And then you've got the Bills and the Niners. The Niners don't look as threatening as they used to. The Bills, that's a heck of a game, man. That's going to be one. That's going to be one for the ages. I think it could be a preview of the Super Bowl. That's how big that game
Possibility.
is. Yeah. So there we go. That's it. The last week against Minnesota.
This team is never going to lose again.
There you go. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. All right, guys. Thanks for taking my call, and I'll listen the rest of the way.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right. right.
I know you don't care, but happy Thanksgiving.
He does. He just happens to be in Latvia now. He's from here, so he's already chowed on a turkey leg. Oh, he's already done his gobbling. It's late. All right. Like I said, give us a call 248-782-8384. I know you're probably gnawing on some white meat, so go ahead and enjoy that.
Ignore your family. Talk to us.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions podcast. That should be a shirt.
Make your family listen to us. Call in with the family. What the heck? All right. I want to talk to drunk racist Uncle Eddie. He's there.
Yeah.
Let's give him something to do. No, I really don't.
Let's get this one flagged, people. What can we do here?
Time of possession, even with that terrible second half, time of possession for the Lions was 11 minutes higher. Almost a yard more per game.
Egregious in the first half. Like they had 3 plays in the first quarter.
Yeah.
All they had was a 3 and out in the whole quarter of football.
Rushing yards, we beat them by over 100. Passing yards, they actually had us by about 12 yards. And total yards, we had them by about 100. So good stuff there. All the right things. Penalties, we had 2 fewer, but they were about the same yardage. Penalties, sacks, they got sacked a lot more than we did. There was a couple times, I got to give Caleb credit, escaping places he should not have escaped. He was Houdini, man.
The guy is a talented quarterback, man. Like you can't watch him play and not see why he was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He still has some mental breakdowns, but every rookie quarterback does. And it's just man, when they fired their offensive coordinator, that was it. Like that was the end. You cannot do that to this kid.
Yeah.
They're going to screw it up again, and much to our benefit.
Yeah. That's exactly. Look, I don't wish him any ill will, but I wish the Bears all the ill will. So whatever it takes to destroy his confidence and his ability, I'm all in for that. I am all in for that. Good stuff there as we start thinking about player stats for our Detroit Lions. 221 yards passing, 21 on 34 attempts for Jared Goff. Montgomery, 88 yards. What a balance here. Gibbs, 87 yards. Jamo, 18.
Only a 12 carry difference between those 2 guys, though. 15 yards per is a little better for Gibbs than it is for Monty.
Jared, the Roadrunner Goff.
5.7 to 4.2.
Jared, the Roadrunner Goff. 1 yard. There we go. Beautiful sneak on that. Amon-Ra for 73 yards. Tim Patrick, I'm waiting for him to break out. 48 yards. He's like on this cusp of he's going to have that game. I know it. Monty with 36, catching 28 for Jamo. Catching the ball, 17 for Gibby.
5 catches.
Man, Brock Wright with 13, 3 catches for 6 yards and 2 touchdowns for Laporta. 6 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's my guy working.
Yep.
So that was good stuff. Let's call it the sacks here. 2 sacks for Reader, a sack and a half for Zadarius, AQM, Muhammad.
Told me DJ Reader couldn't rush the passer.
Yeah,
so that's a conversation people were trying to have all offseason. And I was like, bro. He's going to get the cleanup sacks. That's what he's here for.
And half a sack for Ezekiel Turner. Walking through Jake Bates, long 48, 11 points on the day, 75%. Punt returns 42 yards on 4 returns total. And Jack Fox with 100 yards net punting, averaging 50 with both inside the 20 and 1 at the 1 yard line with a RCH between the heel and the line. And I got to tell you, if on review, I could have seen them actually saying, you know what I mean? That's
If they had thrown the flag on that, which I totally get why they wouldn't. Well, actually, no, I really don't. There was a moment where that little green strip between the cleat and the line was gone. You just look at it and you're like, that's white. Don't wear green cleats. That's all I'm saying. If you're only playing teams, wear green cleats.
Yeah.
Don't tell on yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's not such a bad idea.
That was an interesting thing. That they've embraced the Sonic and Knuckles nickname to the point that they were wearing themed cleats for the entire game of their their particular character.
Well, and they walked in with the characters. I wouldn't put it past them to actually have hired those guys themselves to walk in with them. Yep. I'm serious. They seem to have really embraced it this week. But more than likely, those are Nikes. So I have a feeling maybe Nike did that whole thing and put all that whole thing together. Because, and then even back up from there, there's the Sonic 3 movie. Like, I was loving the first half. The Sonic 3 movie trailer came out while everything else is going on, while they're getting decimated by the run game. I'm like, oh man, this is just, if you're a Bears fan, you're absolutely choking on a turkey leg right now. The sausage is already gone. Maybe it was the movie. They may be pushing a little bit of promotion. Say, hey, we can pump this up in Detroit with a little bit of love for their local team. So there's always something behind it. Nothing's real anymore. It's all AstroTurf. You know what I mean?
If it's not AI, it's a miracle at this point. Like, did that game actually happen? You really know that game happened?
Yeah.
Because I got a local AI that could maybe give you a play.
Yeah.
Games in a row. Probably you're going to see some 7-figure people. Like one play looking almost like a real football game. We're pretty close to that.
2 feet just inside the goal line. Could the script be going to us?
That's an interesting question to start asking at this point.
No, you need another COVID. You got to get all the people out of the stadium and be able to do that, though. Too many witnesses.
Fair enough. Yeah, actually, the crowd.
Yeah, they wreck everything.
Everything will fall apart.
Oh man, what other conspiracies could we? So here's something for folks, just for a fun time to do. We do this thing with my neighbors. I have them come by, and we visit each other's house like once a month. Have them come by, and when they come to my house, every time has to defend a conspiracy theory. Not that they really believe it, but they have to put themselves in the mindset of somebody who believes like the flat Earth thing or that 9/11 was an inside job and those things. It actually it's pretty fascinating, because when you get into that position where you start having to defend those things, you can start thinking to yourself, well, I get how these. I don't think the Earth is flat. But
it's the kernel of truth that the whole thing stumbles from, that you can kind of almost get behind the thing. And plus, there's the whole Ron Funches, I think, said it. He's like, I get not believing in every conspiracy theory, but not believing in any conspiracy theories. Like, you think the government's just telling you the truth 100% of the time?
MK Ultra was real. Look it up. Okay, we're going crazy here.
Yep. Yeah.
It was. That's the thing.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. You know what I mean?
I thought MK Ultra was a conspiracy theory.
There are things we don't know. That's just.
When I found out, this was only like 2 years ago, that I found out that MK Ultra wasn't a conspiracy theory, that it was like real, and the government had actually admitted it. It blew my fucking mind. Like, I was like, what?
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what a wild world we live in.
I suspect there are things we don't know, my friend, that would absolutely alter our belief in reality if we did. But we don't.
Wait, we're losing connection. What's going All right. That was fun. It's time to get with the family. It's time to eat some turkey. Last look at the game, Ash. What's your takeaway for next week? We got 7 days till we have to do this again.
Lions win. And hopefully all the guys who needed this week off get as much time as they need on the holiday weekend to be able to actually play next Thursday.
Yeah.
Because they were missed. Every single one of them.
Yeah, they were. I'm going to just look at this and say, just like Bates' field goals, they're inside the post. It might as well have been right down the middle. It's a win. It puts us 11-1. Yep. Obviously, things to clean up. Obviously, players to get healthy. We had a short 4-day run. We've got a 7-day run before Green Bay. And then after that, we've got a 10-day run before we run into the Buffalo Bills. So that 10 days is going to be crucial ahead of that tough game. That'll be really, really good for us, and I'll be willing to see what's going on there. It lines up now that we've done this part of it, to have 7 days for Green Bay and then a bigger break before Buffalo. I kind of like that. I like that. We'll see how it plays out. Yep. We'll see what happens with the team and the boys on that one. And that Buffalo game, that could actually get flexed, I think, to Monday, couldn't it?
I really hope it doesn't, because I won't be able to watch it if it does.
I'll luckily still be in town, but yeah, that's a crazy one. So we'll see what goes on there. We'll call it a show now. We will see you. We'll have a podcast with Riz and I on Tuesday of next week, I believe, and then we'll have a post-game show after the Packers game, and get right back into the groove here. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully you appreciate it. This is for you guys. For those that have to work, guys and gals that have to work, and that couldn't spend time with their family today for whatever reason. We got you. Hope we gave you just a little something to have some fun on this Thanksgiving Day after Lions win. Ash, happy Thanksgiving to you.
You as well, Chris.
If you're Canadian, you don't have to. You don't celebrate. You did it in October, right?
Yeah, this year I honestly didn't.
Just do both. Just do both. That's the thing.
Exactly. I like turkey. I make turkey exceptionally well. I think it's great. I would have it like weekly if everyone else in my life wouldn't lose their minds about just being tired of mashed potatoes and stuffing and gravy and I love all that stuff, man.
I would look like a freaking hippo.
Yeah, that is the thing. I'm not saying it makes me feel great. I'm just saying
we would be living in Wally. We would be living in Wally, and it would be a turkey dinner puree in that shake cup they always wheel around in, right?
Hey, just get me one of those floating beds. I'm in, dude.
All right, don't forget about us on Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. $5 or more a month will hook us up and hook you up. And you get an access to the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet. The Slack is a fantastic spot. It's a well curated group of folks. Really intelligent, a good time, good place to hang out for between the games, during the games, the whole thing. Really, really fantastic. And the memes you see on Twitter, you will see them there first every time. Make sure to follow us on the Twitter machine at DET Lions Podcast, DET Lions Podcast. You're all about the show, what's going on. And also, don't forget to give us a call on Skype at Detroit Lions Podcast. Uno. Wordo, Detroit Lions Podcast, or call us on the Lions line at 248-782-8384, 248 Rub You Fug. Talking to you. Be sure to go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com and subscribe to the podcast, because when you do, Ash will do something like
get up in that box automatically.
Woo. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, no problems, and 2 tons of turkey, because we're Detroit Lions and Reddit Connection. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for joining us.